guys, I'm back with the 8th Jennifer Lawrence film that I'm going to be talking about, and that is A Silver Linings Playbook, directed by David O. Russell. And this film's actually an on-screen representation of a novel written by Matthew Quigg. And I've not actually read the book, so I'm not really too sure what the correlation is like from the screen to the paper. So I'm not going to make any comments there, but personally I really love this film, so let's get into it. Now this film has the exact same cast as another David Russell film that we reviewed a few weeks ago, Joy, if any of you guys watched that video. And so yeah, we have Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. And this film starts off with Bradley Cooper's character, Pat, who's coming home from a mental asylum, or a mental hospital, sorry, and he's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And we see his backstory was because he had a wife, a beautiful wife, and she cheated on him with a teacher that she used to like teach with. I think she was like a trainee or something, and that kind of sent him off the rails. And then it kind of it does this really well. It kind of brings the story back to the present, and then he meets Jennifer Lawrence's character Tiffany, and she also has her own problems, her own mental illnesses. She has depression and anxiety, and when these two characters are on screen together, it's like magic. It really is. Both sides of the mental health sort of side of this film are represented really, really well, and this makes me very happy, to be honest with you, because as I said, it's magic. It really is. There's a really cool scene where they're in a diner and they're kind of throwing stuff on the table, and because they've both been in situations that each other have been in, they feel really comfortable. And yes, they argue and they have the fights in this film, and it is a little bit funny, but this film's actually really serious. And I like that this film isn't like an MCU film where it ruins every serious moment. It just takes it as it is and moves on to the next scene. And at first, these characters don't really like each other. They actually meet having tea at a friend's house, and they don't really like each other. They think they're both a bit rude to each other. But the way they kind of meet each other is that they go on these runs, and they keep on like being territorial and saying like, oh no, this is my road, this is my road. And it's really cute. And Robert De Niro's character in this film plays Pat's dad, and he has a really nice relationship with Bradley Cooper's character because he thinks that he's a lucky charm when they watch football together. But when he starts spending time with Jennifer Lawrence's character, he feels like obviously he's been taken away from it. The theme of territorial and like being a family is very present in this film, I will say that. But there's a great scene where actually he like doesn't go with Jennifer and Tiffany, sorry, and he goes to the game with his dad, and someone makes a really rude remark saying that he's out of the loony bin, like, a crazy house, and a fight starts, and the football team they're supporting actually loses the game, so his dad actually kind of loses faith in the son, and it's a really sad scene. But then Jennifer Lawrence's character Tiffany walks in the room, and this is an absolute I can't even speak. It's an absolute scene stealer. So basically what she does is she kind of makes the whole room realise that when Brad is with Tiffany, that's when the team actually win games, not when the dad and the son are together. And there's a really cool scene where Robert De Niro's character actually rethinks everything and says to Tiffany, I really like you and thank you for being with my son. But then the bad side, Robert De Niro's character, starts coming out, and he keeps on making bets pretty much. That's why he needs his son with him to be his lucky charm. And they have to do this sort of bet. It's called a parlay, I think. Obviously, Max is reviewing the Pirates of the Caribbean film, so you might have heard him say that. And that's a bet where you have to win two things at once. So they make this bet that the next football game they have to win, and also this dance that Pat and Tiffany have been training for. They have to get a 5, and obviously a 5's not very good, but there's this brilliant scene where they're at this dance that they've been practicing for. That's where they've been this whole time, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. They've been practicing for this dance, and it's out of 10, and it doesn't go that well, and they literally only get a 5 when all the other dancers got like 8s and 9s. And there's a really cool scene where the judges like hold up cards and it like makes 5. I think one gets a 2, one gets a 1, and then like the other gets like another 2 or a 3 or something, and it makes 5, and they get so happy, and everyone else is like, that's a bit shit, why are they so happy? But because they've won that bet, the football team that they supported won, and then they exactly got 5, and they win this bet. And a silver lining is pretty much, if you're in a crap situation, you need to make it into a positive one, and that whole scene really like brings the whole sort of film to a full circle, to be honest with you. And there's this great scene where Pat's character is obsessing over his ex-wife, and they start actually like running after each other, but it turns out he's running away from her so that Tiffany can run to him, and it recreates the scene of them like running on the roads together, and they end up pretty much happily ever after. And overall, this is such a fantastic film. I know it sounds really complicated, and this is such a hard film to talk about, but I highly recommend you guys to watch it. I'd probably say give this film anywhere from a 9 to a 10. A lot of people would probably agree. Jennifer Lawrence got the Oscar for Best Actress in 2012 for this film. It is so good. I highly recommend you guys to watch it. And thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.